As long as we're doing time jumps, can we just skip to the end of this show? I'm so done. I think I got 5 important details from this episode, and beyond that, these people are just wasting my time. Yes, we got a time jump. The kids are older. They haven't really changed. They've grown. They've gotten bigger. They're played by different actors, so you have to relearn faces again. Rhaenyra and Alicent are still quarreling, and I think the person who's changed the most is probably Alicent. She's just gotten a lot harder. She took those words her father said to her last episode to heart. You know, I didn't see you had it in you to play the game and win it. So, you know, she's pretty much ruling the place while the king is falling apart. And, you know, Rhaenyra and Daemon come back and they say to Alicent, so you're pretty much running things now, you're ruling? And she goes, oh no, I'm not ruling, I'm just taking advisement from the king. And they're looking at this guy who is bedridden, he's missing half his face, he can't move, he coughs and wheezes. I mean, everybody knows this guy is circling the drain. And it doesn't matter if you're his daughter, his wife, trusted friend, nobody respects this guy at all. And everybody's just making moves about who's going to inherit the throne, as if his plans don't matter anymore. Now, his plans matter. He said Rhaenyra is going to take over. This was before a lot of stuff happened. But honestly, we need to address the issue here. Yes, he's feeble. Yes, he's sick. Yes, he can hardly string a sentence together. And obviously, he's not really running things. But even when he was competent, he was totally irrational. The plans don't follow tradition. They don't really follow any type of rationality. The idea that he wants Rhaenyra to take over is a purely emotional reaction to his first wife's death. And it's not a good decision. Also, look at Rhaenyra's character. She's not a good person. She's easily manipulated. She's entitled. She's just kind of repulsive on a number of levels, but she's got no real character. On the other hand, you have Alicent, who's not only redecorated the place, she's installed a new religion, and while she's taken all of these steps to take control of the kingdom, she's completely lost control of her kids. Aegon rapes a girl who works in the castle, and Alicent just pays her off to leave and not talk about it. Meanwhile, Aemond, who's missing an eye, he's actually channeled that rage and lust for revenge into becoming a really great fighter, despite having only one eye. There's 2 scenes worth watching in this episode. The first is when all of these people come to meet at the throne and make a case for which throne they should inherit and who should be in charge of what. And they're all just moving around these chess pieces without the king there. And King Viserys eventually shows up.
King Viserys of House Targaryen!
To everybody's surprise, hobbling and can hardly make it to the throne. And he says, you guys are all making these moves and my plan still stands. So stop. At which point, the Valyrian king, he calls out Rhaenyra's sons as being bastards! And calls her a whore, which was cathartic for me personally because, you know, duh. And at this point, the king says, I'll have your throat. I'll do a push-up contest with you, or he starts talking tough, and
Well, have your tongue for that.
Which was jarring and crazy and all those things, and that's what you watch Game of Thrones for, I guess. That wasn't honor, that wasn't loyalty. I mean, they've had 2 more kids, and they named one after Viserys. So
Now that is a name fit for a king.
every move that everybody makes in this episode in front of the king is trying to win his favor, trying to flatter him. The other scene worth watching is the dinner scene where the families are gathered around a table. He makes a speech. He takes off his golden half mask. We see his face, his eye, and have his jaws messing. He's just getting eaten from the outside by whatever the affliction is. I don't know if they gave it a name. It doesn't look fun, though, I'll say that. And, he makes a speech. He says, if you're not going to get along for the kingdom, do it
For the sake of this old man who loves you all.
Do it for your granddad. Do it for your dad, your husband. Come on, everybody, let's get along. Everybody starts making toasts.
I wish to raise my cup to Her Grace the Queen.
I raise my cup to you. You will make a fine queen.
And saying, I respect you, I love you, and thank you. You're also a swell person. We really should make this whole thing work. The kids, Emmett's still missing an eye, and Aegon's he's just a dick, honestly.
But if you ever wish to know what it is to be well satisfied, all you have to do is ask.
To Prince Aegon.
Hitting on his cousin's fiance while ignoring his own wife, who's sitting right next to him. And Emmons makes another formal toast and
Strong boys.
I dare you to say that again.
Why?
says, boy, these boys have really
Boys.
I dare you to say that again.
Boys.
grown into some fine young boys. And when he says boys too many times, well, that almost could start something, maybe. And rather than following that up with anything, you get, I think we better leave. And yes, I should think you better head. And, Rhaenyra will come back on Dragon and try to work things out with Alicent. Alicent, I don't really trust her so much anymore. She's gotten kind of dark for me. And in the last scene, I think Viserys finally kicks the bucket. We get a little death rattle and a nice shot of him looking pretty emaciated. And yeah, I won't miss him. He's a stupid man and not a good leader. So yeah, that was this episode. I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, so if you liked how I talked about this, if you want to come back for more and see what I have to say about other things, subscribe to Oh So Curious. Tune in for the podcast on Sundays. We got a couple more of these left, so we'll see how these go. All right, that was episode 8. Yikes. All right, see you next week.
It's best to be certain.